I was on my back, completely submerged. The icy river stole my breath before my mind could catch up. But I had bigger problems. I was under the surface, with a man on top of me, doing everything he could to prevent me from breathing. Police work has a way of changing without warning. You can go from routine to fighting to survive in a matter of minutes. But the memories linger a lifetime. It changes you. You stay prepared, even now, to survive. That day, the call wasn't routine. It was a man setting fire to a pasture. Day shift patrol was predictable, mundane. And if I'm honest, good cops don't like mundane. What we want is a call that screams for help. It was early spring, one of those cold days where you stay close to the heater and don't rush anything. What happened next was anything but predictable. Within minutes, a call for help turned into a nightmare. Then, 3 successive high-pitched tones came over the radio. Those tones mean help is needed now. Any available unit. Reporting party states a male party with a torch is setting their pasture on fire. I didn't hesitate. I handed the driver's license back and stated nothing more than, I gotta go. I ran to my patrol car. The call was very close to my location. The dispatcher's tone changed. Suspect is described as male, tall, long black hair, wearing a long dark overcoat. Reporting party has no idea who the suspect is. Unknown weapons. Lights and sirens on. I was in the area quick. I saw the flames and smoke as I arrived. Then I saw him. Just as described. Only he wasn't tall. He was very tall. A torch in his hand. A burning field behind him. I had arrived on the scene of a movie set. A horror movie. I pulled up to the fence, a barbed wire fence, jumped out of my patrol car as I killed the siren, keeping my eye on him. He was looking directly at me, some 50 yards away. He turned and ran toward the river, the Cashlaputer, fed by the melting snow of the Rocky Mountains. Trapped, nowhere to go. Now I was running too. This was a first for me. I had never been trained to safely arrest someone armed with a blazing torch. A very tall man with a blazing torch. As he ran, he was screaming. No words, just raw, guttural sounds. I closed the distance and started giving commands. Drop the torch. It sounded weird as I yelled it. Drop the torch. Get on the ground. He turned to face me, still moving backwards, into the river. He stopped when the water reached his knees. He had dropped the torch, and as I entered the water, his hands came up. Not in surrender, but to defend himself from whatever I might do next. He wasn't talking, just screaming. My legs were already going numb in the river. I grabbed for him. That didn't work well. He overpowered me. I was on my back, completely submerged. The icy river stole my breath before my mind could catch up. I was being drowned. My head and body being driven into the rocky riverbed. with all of his strength, his weight, holding me under. I clawed for something, anything. My hand found his coat. Fear gave me strength I didn't know I had. I pulled hard, and suddenly, everything changed. I was on top, breathing. He was underneath me, fighting now to keep his head above the water. I saw his face, twisted, eyes wide, and then I noticed his teeth. They weren't where they belonged. They were jutting out of his mouth at a grotesque angle, like a tongue. That's when it hit me. This wasn't a monster. It was a man wearing dentures. I forced his face back under the water. His arms thrashed, now searching for something to hold on to. And in that moment, every instinct screamed the same thing. End the threat. Save your life. Don't let him breathe. What should I do? A voice came from behind me. I turned. It was a fire captain, a friend. Standing at the edge of the river, 1 foot on the slope bank, 1 in the water, wearing full firefighting gear, like he had stepped into the wrong movie scene, adding to the already impossible picture. I pulled his head to the surface, now secure that help had arrived. His dentures, now the only victim, lost to the river. Together, the fire captain and I dragged him up the bank and out of the river. I cuffed him. Other officers and firefighters arriving on scene. Adrenaline waned, inviting the reality. I was freezing. But a peculiar thought entered my mind. I needed to find this poor soul's dentures. But the cold had robbed me of any strength. I was shivering like I had never experienced. I wanted warmth. I needed my patrol car's raging heater. I let the other officers take over. I was escaping. I needed 2 things: solitude and warmth. I drove home, carrying the added weight of clothes filled with the spring runoff. Straight home. Into the garage. I stripped naked. I knew what I needed. A hot tub outside. Modesty set aside, I ran to it. As I entered, the skin screamed with tingling pain. Sharp pain. Glorious pain as the blood thawed and coursed through my body. The shivering slowed. My brain sharpened. I began to reflect, replaying the events. 2 things still trouble me, some 40 years later. His lost dentures, and most importantly, the stupid decision to enter the river, alone. He wasn't going anywhere. He had no place to go. Why was it so important at the time to risk my life needlessly? I know why. I know exactly why. I would repeat it several times in my career. This story would not be complete without telling you what happened to him. He was a man who had lost touch with reality. Thus, he was institutionalized, not incarcerated. 2 men each believe they were fighting a demon that day in the Cache La Poudre. Saved by a fire captain in bunker gear. 2 men saved by an almighty God. Valerie never heard this story. For my entire career, this would be the norm. It was my way of keeping her world safe, unpoisoned by risks and evils that occur as cops. It is exactly why, when asked if she ever worried about me, she would reply, "No, I don't worry." My story was safely locked away. No neighbor had called her that day to tell her they had seen me running across the backyard naked. I'm Bumpa, and I hope you enjoyed this.